I didn't think that I'm in space. I'm in space. Oh man, I'm in space.
So the Thunderbolts movie shows that Sentry can be controlled, but if you've read the comics, you know that's just not how it works. Sentry is way too powerful to be truly controlled, and the MCU will probably prove that soon enough. Once that switch flips and he fully unleashes his powers, Marvel's going to need someone who can actually match him, and the only person who comes to mind? Blue Marvel, also known as the guy who can take down Sentry. So what do we know about his potential MCU debut? Let's get into it. Blue Marvel, also known as Adam Bernard Brashear, is one of Marvel's most powerful and fascinating characters. He was created by Kevin Grevioux, who came up with the concept when he was still a kid, alongside artist Matt Broom. Blue Marvel made his first appearance in the comic series Adam, Legend of the Blue Marvel back in November 2008. Although he didn't immediately become a household name, Blue Marvel found his way into some pretty important Marvel events. In 2013, he joined Luke Cage's team during the Infinity crossover as part of the relaunch of Mighty Avengers, which helped him reach a wider audience. Now, Adam Brashear isn't your average superhero. Before getting his powers, he was already accomplished, a former fullback at Cornell University, a Marine Corps veteran with 2 Silver Stars, and a brilliant physicist. While working on an experiment that aimed to create clean energy by tapping into antimatter through a negative reactor, a massive explosion exposed both Brashear and his friend, Connor Sims, to mutagenic radiation. Sims turned into pure energy and eventually became the villain known as Anti-Man, while Brashear gained superhuman abilities and became the Blue Marvel. As a hero, he kept his identity secret by wearing a full face helmet, but once that helmet was damaged during a battle in 1962, people discovered that Blue Marvel was a black man, and because of the tense racial climate of that time, it caused quite a stir. Even though President John F. Kennedy awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom and personally respected him, he still asked Adam to retire for fear of the public backlash. Adam agreed and quietly stepped away from the spotlight after stopping an alien invasion in one final heroic act. That event was used to stage his death, and he moved on with his life. He later married a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent who had been secretly assigned to monitor him. Her name was Marlene Frazier, though she went by Candace. Together, they had 3 children, Kevin, Max, and Adrienne. Adam eventually settled into a new role as a physics professor at the University of Maryland, but that didn't mean he left his superhero days completely behind. Even while retired, he continued taking on threats, sometimes solo, sometimes with help from his son Kevin. He even teamed up with Blade and the magician Kalu in the 70s to take on supernatural threats known as the Deathwalkers. Adam also studied the Infonaut, a cosmic being who tried to manifest on Earth several times. During one of those appearances, Adam and Kevin managed to prevent a global catastrophe by using antimatter tech to stop him. Eventually, his old friend-turned-enemy Anti-Man returned, more dangerous than ever. When Anti-Man took down the Avengers, Tony Stark and Reed Richards turned to Adam for help. This led to a brutal series of confrontations, including one that tragically claimed the life of Adam's wife. In the end, Adam managed to absorb Anti-Man's remaining energy, effectively neutralizing him. From there, Adam fully returned to the world of superheroes. He helped the Winter Guard battle King Hyperion, got involved in the Fear Itself storyline, and even joined the Mighty Avengers. One of his standout moments was flying through the head of Shuma Gorath during a massive battle, showing just how powerful he really is. He also healed Spectrum and gave her powers a major boost. Later, during the Last Days event in Secret Wars, Adam called out Reed Richards and Black Panther for not involving other heroes in important decisions, highlighting his belief that collaboration could have prevented major disasters. Around this time, he also became a member of the Ultimates. One of their big missions involved Galactus, yes, the Planet Eater himself. They actually turned Galactus into a force of creation instead of destruction. That's how high-level this team was, and Blue Marvel was right there at the center of it. He continued to face off against powerful threats, including a rematch with Anti-Man in Exospace. Even when Adam was ready to end things once and for all, his son Kevin convinced him to show mercy, leading to Anti-Man being brought aboard the Ultimate ship to be rehabilitated instead. Blue Marvel's powers are off the charts. He gets his energy from antimatter reactions linked to the negative zone, giving him strength on par with heavy hitters like Thor, Hulk, and Sentry. He's nigh invulnerable, can survive in space, and has tanked a nuclear explosion without a scratch. He can fly at incredible speeds, manipulate energy on a molecular level, and create powerful blasts. On top of all that, he ages much slower than regular humans and has genius-level intellect, with a PhD in theoretical physics and a master's in electrical engineering. He also built his own hidden underwater base deep in the Marianas Trench and developed technology far beyond anything currently on Earth. One of his few known weaknesses is neutronium, a rare material from exospace. Otherwise, he's nearly unstoppable. With his unique backstory, immense power, and personal sense of responsibility, Blue Marvel is one of Marvel's most underrated heroes. As Marvel continues to build out the MCU, bringing Adam Brashear into live action feels like only a matter of time. He's got the history, the depth, and the power to make a serious impact, and fans are ready to see it happen. Adding to all that, one of the most exciting things about Blue Marvel is how he's actually gone toe-to-toe with Sentry in the comics, and held his own. These two aren't just strong, they're both on another level entirely. So if Marvel ever flips the switch on Sentry in the MCU, and let's say the Thunderbolts aren't around to keep him in check, they're going to need someone who can stop him before things spiral out of control. That's exactly where Blue Marvel comes in. In the comics, their fights weren't just big, they were epic. Blue Marvel stood his ground against Sentry's overwhelming power, which says a lot, considering Sentry has the strength of 1,000,000 exploding suns. No joke. But Adam's antimatter energy and raw durability make him the perfect match. He doesn't just rely on brute force, he thinks, he strategizes, and he knows how to handle cosmic-level threats. Now, imagine this in the MCU. Let's say in a future movie like Avengers: Secret Wars or Doomsday, Sentry loses control or gets manipulated by a bigger villain, maybe Doctor Doom suddenly. Earth's mightiest heroes are in deep trouble. That's when Blue Marvel could step in. Not only does he have the power to go head-to-head with Sentry, but his calm, composed nature could balance out Sentry's chaos. It would make for an incredible cinematic clash, full of emotion, stakes, and sheer destruction. As for who could play Blue Marvel on the big screen, there are a few actors who come to mind. Someone like Idris Elba would be amazing. He's got the gravitas, the presence, and the quiet strength that fits Adam Brashear perfectly. Other great picks could be Sterling K. Brown or even Denzel Washington if Marvel really wanted to go big. The key is finding someone who can play both the genius scientist and the unstoppable superhero convincingly. In the end, Blue Marvel isn't just powerful, he's necessary. If Sentry ever breaks loose in the MCU, fans are going to want to see someone who can actually stop him. And let's be real, watching these two powerhouses clash on screen would be nothing legendary.